Alrighty, hello everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to Puppet Bahay with Nicolo. Yay! That's right. My name is Nicolo and welcome to Puppet Bahay. I am your Puppet Bahay. All right. Here on the show, we talk about anyone or anything that has to do with, you guessed it, puppets. That's right. Anything that has to do with puppets, like puppeteers, puppetry arts, puppet makers, anything you can think of that has to do with puppets. If you remember last week, well, we had a teacher and a couple of students from the Paranaque Science High School, Parsai, and we talked about how they use puppetry as part of their curriculum, particularly as part of their performing arts group. If you missed that episode, you can always check out the replay here on the Puppet Bahay with Nicolo playlist on Facebook and on YouTube. Today, we have another special guest. He is a very good friend of ours. We've met him a couple of times in Thailand, and we've met him maybe 4 or 5 times in Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen and children, please welcome on the show Dr. Loy Chee Luen from Malaysia. Welcome to the show, Dr. Loy. Yay!
Hello.
Hello,
Yeah,
Dr. Loy. Yeah, it's nice to see you again. Go ahead, say hello to everyone, please.
yeah. Hello, and hello, everyone. Good evening.
That's right. All right, Dr. Loy. First of all, thank you very much for being on my show, Puppet Bahay with Nicolo. And I am so excited because today you are going to bring us to a virtual tour of your Puppet Coup house in Malaysia. Before we talk about Puppet Coup, Dr. Loy, how's the weather in Malaysia?
Today very hot. Yeah, Nicolo.
Oh,
It's very hot day.
Same in the Philippines. Very, very hot. What part of Malaysia are you in right now, Dr. Loy? What part?
Now I am Tanjung Malim, Perak, Malaysia. 80
Oh,
kilometers
Tamjumaling. I
from
remember I went there.
hmm, 80 kilometers from Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, 18 kilometers from Kuala Lumpur. About an hour from Kuala Lumpur?
Yeah, it's 1 hour plus.
Oh, more than an hour. All right. Okay, good. Okay, now, Dr. Loy, today is going to be a special episode because I told everyone that you are going to show us Puppet Coup House in Malaysia. First things first, let's talk about its history. Who established Puppet Coup Puppet House in Malaysia?
Okay, before I start the Puppet Cool House, I start with my Puppet Cool theaters. That means I start my theaters since 2003, and then we perform in Malaysia, and then also join the international festivals. Okay, in 2005, I start to planning a puppet house because this idea I inspired from the overseas when I going to China's and then also the Indonesians. I found that overseas got a puppet museums that when after I visit the museums that inspired me to form a puppet school house. Actually, in Malaysia, um, in our national museum and also the state museum, also got exhibitions about puppetry. Okay, in Kuala Lumpur, Malay World Ethnology Museums has exhibited the puppetry, the shadow puppetry, such as the wayang kulit Kedik, wayang kulit Kelantan, and also wayang kulit Pura that found in Malaysia. Okay, beside that, in Sarawak, in the museum, in the Textile Museum in Sarawak also show the traditional costumes. That means the puppet wear the traditional costume and then show in the museum. So in the Malaysia at the north part, Johor Bahru, they also got one Malay cultural village. Also show those wayang kulit. The cultural village show the puppetry and then also got the interactive activity for those visitors. In Kuala Lumpur, also got the Malaysian Chinese Museum. In that museum, we also can find the Chinese traditional puppetry in the museum. And in Penang, we also found that got one Teochew puppets and opera house. In this opera house also show the puppets, their origins from the channels. Okay, so next I will show with all about the puppet goose house. Okay,
All
so
right, Dr. Loy,
Nicolo, yeah,
before you show the slide, Dr. Loy, I'm very
yeah.
interested with what you just said. So Malaysia, without a doubt, has a very rich puppetry culture. You have wayang kulit and wayang golek, right? Or is it just wayang kulit?
wayang kulit, and also the Chinese traditional puppetry, such as the Teochew rock puppets, Chinese
Oh,
puppets, and also the marionettes. This one is in traditional form.
I see. So Malaysia has a very, very rich puppetry culture as far as wayang kulit is concerned. And you told us earlier that you saw this when you went to Indonesia, and you also saw a museum in Penang and in Kuching, right? These are very, very nice places in Malaysia, ladies and gentlemen. Penang and Kuching, and we've managed to go there and check out their puppetry culture before the pandemic. All right, now go ahead, Dr. Loy.
Okay, so Nicolo, can you see my PPT slide?
All right, not yet.
Not yet.
We
Okay, so Nicolo, I will share my slide with you. Okay,
okay.
so the slide show the puppet house. Okay, puppet cool's house. Okay, so
Wow.
Nicolo, can you see my slide?
Yes, can see it right
Okay,
now. Puppet Cool House, Malaysia.
yes. So this is the plan for the puppet cool's house. For the ground floors, in France, the puppet cool house. Okay, I plan one the exhibitions corners. So in these corners, I show a lot of puppets, and then for the puppet resource corners, okay, these corners I store a lot of puppets magazines, and then also the books, and then also my research reports in these resource corners. And then behind here, okay, I designed for a one's workshop for the puppet making. Okay, so I also make my own puppets. I can make the hand puppets. So this is my working areas. Okay, and then the first floor is the mini stage. So in the mini stage, okay, we will organize puppet shows, okay, for the audience around 20 to 30 audience, because this one is a small stage. So I start the planning the puppet house. This is the puppet house before um, the renovations. So this is the in France, and this is the behind puppet house. So I start, we are in the 2015, and then I take 2 years to finish it. So after renovations, okay, so this is the in France, and then there's a behind look for the puppet house. Okay, and then this is the roof. So I take off all the old, okay, roof, and then we build a new one. Okay, we build a new one. Okay, and then this one is the
Wow.
first floor. Yeah, for the first floors. So I want plan for a one mini stage. So I take off this and then design a mini stage at the first floor. Okay, and then this is the center in the puppet house. Uh, when you look at here, okay, got a lot of books, and then the magazine here. Okay, this is a constructions before and after the resource centers. Okay, and then this one is the exhibitions corners in the first floors. Okay, after renovations, okay, I put all the doors and also the puppetry in this corner. Okay, so this is pictures show that's in France. Okay, fun routes for the puppet house. So this is a progress to design the France for the puppet house. Okay, so in my puppet house, okay, the main purpose I want to introduce the Malaysian costumes to those visitors. Okay, so here's okay, got the marionettes. Okay, these marionettes made from the Thailand's friends, and then wearing traditional costumes. And then the center one, this is the hand puppets. hand puppets made from the puppet makers from Indonesia. And then we design a traditional costume for the hand puppets. And
All
then the
right, wait
next
a minute, Dr. Loy.
then
Before you, yeah, Dr. Loy, before you continue, these are very, very interesting puppets. Where did you get these? Are they from the festivals that we've attended?
okay, this one I'm special request and then made by the puppet maker from the different country. So I asked the puppet makers from Thailand, from Indonesia, and
Oh, I
also
see.
yeah, and also the puppet makers from Malaysia to make the puppets. And then I show in my puppet house. Okay,
Wow.
so, yeah, Nicolo, you look at here. This one is the dolls. Okay, dolls wearing a traditional costumes. And then the below here, okay, also the this set of puppets is made by the puppet makers, okay, from Malaysia. And then the center here, okay, is the wayang golek from Indonesia. And then I asked the puppet makers to make a puppet wearing a Malaysian traditional costume. This is the costumes, Kadasan costumes, and then this is the Ibang costume. Uh, and then this one is the shadow puppets. Okay, shadow puppets. I designed as the puppet maker to make a traditional costume for me to show to the visitors. So in my puppet house, also show the traditional puppetry in Malaysia. Okay, the first photo show that's the wayang kulit Siam, okay, or wayang kulit Kelantan. So these type of puppets we can find in Kelantan and also the Terengganu in Malaysia. Okay, and then the next photo is the wayang kulit Gedes. Okay, these puppets and this one is the wayang kulit Gedes. This type of puppets we can find at the north parts. Okay, in the Malaysians. Okay, in the Perlis and also the Kedas. And then
Ah,
the next puppets, okay, is the wayang kulit puwers. Okay, the wayang kulit puwers, the origins is from the Indonesians, and now also got puppet troops, and then also got the puppeteer. They perform the wayang kulit puwer at the Johor Bahru in Malaysia. So this is the traditional puppetry in Malaysia.
all right, so Dr. Loy, what you're telling us right now, the ones in the screen right now, these are all wayang kulit, but from different parts of Malaysia, correct?
Yes. Now in Malaysia, still got puppet troops to perform this type puppetries. Okay, such as this one, wayang kulit, Siam, and then wayang kulit, Gedex. The
Ah,
origins from Thailand. Okay, but now
right.
Malaysia local group to perform the wayang kulit Siam and then also the wayang kulit Gedex in Malaysia.
Dr. Loy, did you say the origin is in Thailand?
Yes, the this type, okay, the first photo, the
Oh,
wayang
yeah.
kulit Siam is from Thailand, origin from the Thailand, and then also these ones, okay, the wayang kulit Gede also from Thailand, and
I
then
see. But wait a minute, Dr. Loy. I hope you don't mind
yes,
if I ask. But if it originated in Thailand, how come they call it wayang kulit? And why not call it nambak two? Because
yeah,
in Thailand they call, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure because I don't speak Thai, but I think it's nambak two in Thailand. I'm not really sure. But why do they call it wayang kulit?
okay. Actually, wayang kulit is mean shadow puppets. So it's the
Oh, I see.
general
Right.
name for the wayang. That means if we want to translate to the English, it's the shadow puppets, Siam
Right.
shadow puppets, Gede shadow puppets. So um, the wayang kulit pool, shadow puppet pools is from origin from the Indonesians. And now we found the groups in the Johor Bahru in Malaysia.
Right.
So
I
this,
understand now. Now I understand. Go ahead.
okay. So next photo is show the Asia Pacific puppetry in the puppet house. Okay, the first photo showed that the marionettes from the Chinos. Okay, and then center here is the shadow puppets. Okay, from the different country. Such as this type wayang kulit from Indonesia, and then center here wayang from Thailand, and then below here chocolate one is the wayang from Laos, and then the side here is the wayang from China. Okay, and then next is the puppets. Okay, actually this one is the water puppets. Okay, I
Oh,
brought from Vietnam. Okay, this is
yeah.
the
Vietnam. Let me show it to them. Bigger picture. There you go.
yeah. Okay, so next below here, okay, this set of puppets I brought from Thailand. And then the center here, okay, these puppets I brought from the friends from Sri Lanka, the puppet from Sri Lanka. And then the last one, the puppets, the marionettes puppets from the in India. So this is
Right.
Asia Pacific puppetry.
And Dr. Loy, before you continue, are all these? I'm very interested because these are really, really nice collection of puppets. And are these all displayed in the museum right now in Puppet Cook?
Yes, these all puppets now in Puppet Cool House. After the pandemic, when we reopens, we welcomes all the local and then also the international visitor coming to visit the Puppet Cool House.
All right, now Dr. Loy, where in Malaysia is Puppet Cook House located?
Puppet Cool House located at the Tanjung Maling, Perak,
Oh.
Malaysia.
I
So
see. That's about an hour, a little bit more than an hour from Kuala Lumpur. When we go there, we will make sure we visit the Puppetco Museum. Now, oh wow, you also have European puppetry displayed in the museum, Dr. Loy.
yes, I also the collections. Okay, the puppetry from the European puppets. This one is the hand puppets, and then this one is the marionette string puppets, and then this one actually is a special. Made from the puppet makers from Indonesia. So the image, okay, is about the Europeans. So
Right.
yeah,
Oh, Africa. Wow.
yeah. These puppets I brought from my friends from Egypt. Okay, from Egypt. So this set of puppets show the African style of puppetry. Okay, next is the puppetry books and magazines. So my puppet house is 10 minutes from my university. That means 10 minutes from University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. So also got uh, researchers, students, the interest in the research about the puppetry. so they can refer to my collections. Okay, this is the puppets book, and then also the magazines. That means I bought online, okay, from Americas. And then this one I bring back from Poland when I going to join the festivals. Okay, so this is the collections for the puppetry books and magazine.
All right, Dr. Loy, you mentioned that the Puppet Cool House is 10 minutes away from your very, very big university. If I am a student in that university and I want to go to Puppet Cool House, is there a fee? Do I pay anything to be able to go and check out the museum?
Yeah, no entrance fee for the puppet house. Okay, but
Wow.
visitors need to make an appointment through the puppet house Facebook. So you can make appointments through our messengers, and then I will arrange a times, and then we are welcome to all the visitors.
All right, Dr. Loy, you said it's for free. Did I get that correctly? Anyone can go there for free? Is that correct?
Yes, it's free entrance.
Wow, that sounds very, very interesting, especially if I'm a student and I want to learn more about the puppetry arts, not just in Malaysia but from all over the world. Then Puppet Cool House is the place to go. Wow, very interesting. One thing I noticed, Dr. Loy, uh, you didn't show us any puppets from the Philippines. No puppets from the Philippines, Dr. Loy?
Not yet. Maybe after pandemic, I can visit to Philippines, and then I will bring back the Philippine puppets and then show in my puppet cool house.
Okay, Dr. Loy, no need to wait for the pandemic to end. After the show, send me your address through Messenger, and I will send you two Philippine-made puppets. Is that okay?
Very good. Thank you very much, Nicolo.
Yay! All right. So we want the Philippine puppet to be part of museum of Puppet Cool Puppet House in Malaysia. So we are donating two Philippine-made puppets to Puppet Cool House in Malaysia, courtesy of Tito Wanlu. Yay!
Yeah,
All right, because Dr. Loy, in the Philippines, what we have mostly are soft puppets. These are, the Muppet style puppets. Tito Wandu will send
yeah.
you a couple of puppets for display in your puppet museum. All right. Okay, Dr. Loy will take a break first. We'll take a short gap. And then when we
Okay.
return, we will see more of Puppet Cool House in Malaysia. Please don't leave, all right? Okay, we'll take a short gap first. All right, please don't leave, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Loy Chee Luen from Malaysia, Puppet Cool House in Malaysia. He will be back to show us more of the Puppet Cool House in Malaysia. But please don't leave. When we return, he will even show us a video. Okay, so don't leave. Before we bring him back, we'd like to show you our streams. All right, these are our ongoing streams. Every Sunday, I do maybe the old songs. If you want to hear old songs, please check it out. Check us out every Monday, 5 p.m. Again, the stream is called Maybe the Old Songs with Nicolo. Every Monday, we have Puppet Bahay with Nicolo. Every Wednesday, we have Mga Kwento ni Lola Osna. Stories from my grandma, Lola Osna. And Thursdays, we have Enchong Gom videos. All right? So please check out our ongoing live streams. We'd like to thank our friends who have been supporting us. Service Bay Car Care Center, headed by Sir Romulo Peralta, Sir Romper, located in Sumulong Highway in Antipolo City. They are very, very near Central Mall. We'd like to thank our friends from Party Bits and Pieces, event styling by Miss Ananta. If you want a really, really special party or event, please get in touch with our friends from Party Bits and Pieces. You can get in touch with them through Facebook. We also would like to thank our friends from DV Magic Shop. If you want to be a magician just like Tito Hanlu, please get in touch with our friends from DV Magic Shop. You can order magic props through Lazada or Shopee. I'd like to thank as well our friends from USANA, Miss Mary Lou Martires. You can get in touch with her. She is the USANA Independent Associate in Antipolo. Her number is 0930-837-0028. Of course, we'd like to thank our friend, our guest for today, because without him, we will not have an episode. All right, so please, we'd like to extend our gratitude to Dr. Loy Chee Luen, the curator of the Puppet Coup House in Malaysia. All right, when he gets back, he will show us more of the Puppet Coup House in Malaysia. If you want to help us out, our GCash number is 0921548390. Of course, you can help us also by sharing this live stream. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Dr. Loy. Yay! Dr. Loy, welcome back.
Yeah, hello, Nicolo. Okay, we
All
meet
right,
again.
Dr. Loy, welcome back to the stream. Before we continue, do you have more slides to show before the video?
Yes, I will show the photo of visitors from local and internationals. After that, I will show
All
a
right.
video goes to the Puppet Cool House. Okay, so this photo show that the visitors. So since 2017, when we opened the Puppet House, got friends from US, Indian, Taiwan's, okay, coming to Puppet House. These groups friend is the storytellers, very famous storytellers that come to visit Puppet House. And then in 2018, we also got friends from UK coming to visit and share the knowledge about the puppetry in UK. Okay, 2019, we got friends from Peru and Mexico. Okay, after those puppeteers, they joined the Rainforest World Puppets. They come to the puppet house, visit the puppet house, and then share their knowledge about the puppetry with us. Okay, and then these two photo show that the students from China and then also the students. This one is a group of mothers. There is the volunteer for the story telling for the childrens. They also come to the puppet house and then they use the puppets for the storytellings. And then this group is the students from China. Okay, they come in here to visit the puppet house, and then they get the ideas how to doing their research.
Oh, Dr.
And
Loy,
then,
I remember, Dr. Loy, before you continue, I remember the puppeteers from Mexico and Peru. I met them in Kuching.
yes, we met our friends from Peru and Mexico at Kuching, Sarawak. After the
Right,
festival, they fly to the Kuala Lumpur, and then they come into Puppet House.
right. Yeah, fantastic puppeteers from Mexico and Peru. I remember they had a really, really nice performance in Kuching. All right. What about these photos, Dr. Loy?
Okay, so this photo is show that the student from college and then also from the universities. They came from Kuala Lumpur. Uh, this group of students from this University of Wollongong, Malaysia KTUs, and then this group of teachers that came from the Institute of Early Years Development, and also the teacher from the Community Development Departments, and then the lecturers from the New Era College University. They came to Puppet House. We organized workshops, and then the workshops about the puppet making, and then also a workshop about the using puppet for the storytelling. So this
Wow.
is, yeah. So if anyone's okay, if your interest okay to know more about the Puppet Cook House, you can scan these barcodes, and then uh, in my Facebook page got more photos about the puppets, and then also the VIP, the mean visitor from around the world. Okay, so this is my PPT slides. Okay, next I
All
will
right,
share.
Dr. Loy, before you show the video, Dr. Loy, I noticed that you have been getting visitors from all over Malaysia, not just all over Malaysia, but from puppeteers, students, educators from all over the world. So now Puppetku is getting the exposure that it needs. Not and by getting the exposure that it needs, it also helps expose or promote the art of puppetry in general. So well done, Dr. Loy. Okay, Dr. Loy, I understand you have videos as well.
Yes. So next, I will show the videos. Okay, we take uh, virtual tours to my puppet house. Okay. So Nicolo, can you see my videos?
Yep, can see it.
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, so this is the puppet house. Okay, located at Tanjung Maling, Perak. Okay, so this puppet house is open to puppets and then free entrance. Okay, in the first part, okay, where we go inside the puppet house, okay, here we can see the marionettes. Okay, wearing the Malaysian costume puppetry, and then also the Barbie dolls wearing traditional costumes. So this is collections, okay, from the puppet makers from Thailand, and then also the Malaysian puppet makers. And then the next ones, okay, this is the corners, okay, corners about the resource centers. Okay, so when we after okay we see the puppets, okay, we also can read the books, and then also the magazines, and then here also got the collections, the puppets from around the world, okay, such as the European puppets, African puppets, and then also the Asia Pacific puppets. Okay, so this is all about the reference, the books, and then the puppet magazines that I collect, okay, from overseas. So the interest researchers or students that can come to the puppet house, okay, so they can uh, do the reference, okay, for their research and also to know more about the puppetry. So this is the magazine from Americas, and then also the puppetry magazine from Europe. Okay, so this play is my workshops. So I also make my own hand puppets in my workshop. This one is my working areas. Okay, this one is the first floor, the mini stage. So here also display some puppets from Sri Lanka, puppet from China, Indonesia. Okay, when we got a show, we will move these puppets, and then we will let the puppeteers to perform on the stage. Okay, so we welcome all the visitor from local and then also the visitor from the international. They come in here for exchange the knowledge, and then also the puppet making techniques. Okay, here is the highlights. Okay, for the marionettes with the different costume, Malay costumes, and then also the Ibang costume from Sarawak, and then the Kadasang costume, okay, from Sabah in Malaysia, and then the next one is the indigenous costumes. Okay, this one is the indigenous costume from Sabah. And then this one is the Barbados wearing a traditional costume, a Chinese costume, Malay costume, Ibang costume, and then also the Indian costume. I want to show the multicultures and then multi-ethnic in the Malaysia. So this part also show those puppets wearing traditional costumes in Malaysia. So when we going to festivals, okay, we will choose the puppets from here, and then we will produce a shows, and then we will bring to the festivals. Okay, here also show those the puppets from the different ethnics. Okay, in Malaysia, okay, here we got the Indian costumes, indigenous costumes, Chinese costume. Yeah, here also got the orangutan here. And then next, okay, this is about a mini stage, and then to show the mini puppet shows for the children's, for the storytelling sessions. This puppet is the rope puppets made from mini dolls. And then the background is the KLCC towers. Okay, this one is the wayang golek from Indonesia, wearing Malaysian traditional costumes. Okay, this one is the Malay traditional costumes, Indian traditional costumes, okay, and then the indigenous costumes, Iban's costume, and then also the Kadasang costume. Okay, this set of puppets, okay, we use for the puppet shows, and then we bring to World Puppet Festivals. And then here is the shadow puppets. also show the multicultural, multi-ethnic in Malaysia. Okay, this one is the shadow puppets from different countries: Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia. So this one is the wayang kulit Siam, okay, from Malaysia, and then the wayang kulit Kedek from Malaysia, and then the next one is this one also the wayang Kedek, okay. This is origins is from Thailand, and then this one is the wayang Puwas, okay, wayang Puwa origin from Indonesia, okay. Now Malaysia also got wayang kulit shadow puppet troops. They also performs the wayang kulit Puwas shows. So we can find a different type of puppets in puppet house. This one is the European puppets, and then the marionettes from Egypt. So when visitors they coming to the puppet house, okay, they can know more about the puppetry, also the dolls. This one is show the marionettes, okay, from the Indian. So this puppet house not only for exhibitions, also for the research. And then this one is show the puppetry from Thailand, China, Vietnam, Indonesia.
But no Philippines.
Yeah, Philippines were coming. Nicolo, Philippines were coming to puppet house.
Yes, Philippine puppets coming soon to Puppet Goo House.
Yes. Okay, so puppet house also collect dolls. Okay, these puppets from Taiwan, the puppet from China, and then the dolls. Okay, small dolls from Laos. And then this one is a crown puppet, special made from puppet maker from Thailand. And then this one is the souvenirs. And then this type of puppet is using for storytelling for children. And then this one is the traditional glove puppets or hand puppets from China, the characters on the journey to the west. This one is the shadow puppet from China, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia. Okay, so when visitors, especially the students, when they come into the puppet house, I will introduce all types of puppets from Malaysia, and then also the puppetry from different countries to the students. Okay, so after I visit the puppet house, I will conduct simple puppet workshops to let them to experience how to operate, and then how to use the puppets for the storytelling, for the teaching tools, and then also puppet for the counseling sessions, and then also the puppetry for the dental health. So puppetry is a very good tools for a different fields. Okay, so and not only for the exhibitions, they also use for the educations, entertainments to audience. Okay, here is the glove puppets, traditional glove puppets from channels, and then this is the wayang golek. Okay, wayang golek from Indonesia. Okay, this wayang golek can show the different characters. So before this, I also visit to the museum at Indonesia. So I aspire this puppet house aspire from Indonesia and then also the China's. So this just now, okay, is the virtual tours to the puppet house.
All
So
right. That was really, really nice. Wow. Dr. Lloyd, thank you very much for showing us the pictures and the videos. That was very, very interesting. And we have some comments we'd like to read. We have one from Janelle de la Cruz Vasquez. She said, in Filipino, pupuntahan ko yan sooner. Ang ganda. In English, it means I will visit that place soon. Very beautiful. Wow. All right. And she also said that the princess puppet is really very nice. And we have friends watching from Antique. Antique is a really, really nice place in the Philippines. And Janelle also said puppetry is the best. Thank you very much for your comments, ladies and gentlemen. Please do share the live stream so more people can watch this and more people can check out Puppet Coup. That's Puppet Coup House in Malaysia, curated by our very, very special guest, Dr. Loy Chee Luen, live streaming from Malaysia. Now, Dr. Loy, um, the only part that I didn't like is there are no puppets from the Philippines. So after this, we are sending two puppets from Philippines. These are Philippine-made puppets, so it can be part of your very, very nice museum. So that when people visit your museum, you can tell them about Philippine puppets as well. All right.
yes, thank you, Nicolo, and thank you, Walu.
You're welcome, Dr. Lloyd. Now, Dr. Lloyd, before we end the show, maybe a lot of people are wondering who funds your museum because it's a very, very nice place, very, very big place. I understand some of the puppets are donated, maybe, but who funds your museum?
Okay, actually, this museum is found by my own. That means doing it slowly and then using my part of salary for the surviving for the and then also the maintenance for the puppet house, and then the puppet house. Now we got no funding for any associations. Okay, but we still want to maintain the puppet house, and then we still open it as a free entrance course. We want to promote the puppetries. We want to let more students and then also the researchers to know the puppetries, and then we want to promote the puppetry not only in Malaysia but to whole over the world.
Right. This is quite interesting, Dr. Lloyd. Dr. Lloyd, ladies and gentlemen, is telling us that he is funding this museum by himself out of his own salary. Don't you at least get help from Unima in Malaysia? No help?
No, actually is Unima in Malaysia, and then also the Malaysian Puppetry in Malaysia. These two organizations, they also need a fund.
All
So
right.
it's quite difficult for us ask money from the Unima and also the
Right,
association.
right. Yeah, I understand. Dr. Lloyd, before we end the show, one of our regular viewers is asking you to say hello to her. Her name is Janelle. She said, shout out po, Dr. Loy Chee Luen. That means just say hello to Janelle, Dr. Loy. Go ahead.
Hello, Daniel. How are you?
There you go, Janelle. Dr. Loy saying hello to you. All right? Okay, masaya ka na. All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Loy. We will visit Puppet Coup house in Malaysia as soon as the pandemic is over. We are placing it on our bucket list. All right. It's going to be part of our bucket list as a puppeteer, as far as Tito Wanlo is concerned, and as a puppet, as far as I am concerned. All right. So I'd like to visit Puppet Coup house soon in Malaysia. And please, when you receive the puppets from the Philippines, we will send it as soon as possible. Please make sure you place it somewhere near the puppets from Southeast Asia. You know, beside the puppets from Laos, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Myanmar, etc. All right?
Yes, Nicolo.
All right, before we end the show, Dr. Loy, go ahead and invite everyone to visit Puppet Cool House in Malaysia when they visit Malaysia. Go ahead, Dr. Loy.
Okay, welcome everyone to visit Puppet House. So before you come into Puppet House, you can make an appointment through our Puppet Cool House Facebook page. So I will bring all the visitors and then I will explain the puppetries from the locals and then also from the internationals to all the visitors. So we welcome all to Puppet Cool House Malaysia.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much, Dr. Loy. And you got it, ladies and gentlemen. Puppet Cool House in Malaysia. Thank you very much for being on the show, Dr. Loy. We hope we can have you on the show anytime in the future again. Thank you, Dr. Loy. Terima kasih.
Sama-sama, Nicolo.
All right. That was our guest, our special guest, Dr. Loy Chee Luen from Malaysia. He is a puppeteer, an educator, and he is the curator of Puppet Cool House in Malaysia. It's a very big museum. And again, that's Puppet Cool House in Malaysia. It's about an hour, a little bit more than an hour from Kuala Lumpur. All right. Okay, so make sure you visit Puppet Coup House in Malaysia when you go to Malaysia. Alrighty. Now, before we end the show, we'd like to invite you to our next episode. We will have Anne Paler. She is an amateur ventriloquist. She said she's an amateur ventriloquist, but she's actually an awesome ventriloquist. We will find out more of Anne Paler next week, God willing, here on Papet Bahay. And before we say goodbye, laging binibilin sa atin ni Kuya, tandaan niyo po, there you go, wag mong sikaping maging mabuti ka sa paningin ng iba. Ang sikapin mo, maging mabuti ka sa paningin ng Diyos. Yan po ang bilin ni Kuya. Alright, we hope you enjoyed the show, ladies and gentlemen. We have to say goodbye. Thank you very much again to Dr. Loy Chee Luen from Puppet Coup House in Malaysia. Goodbye, everyone. And we'll see you again next week. All right? Bye.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Thank you very much, Dr. Loy. Thank you very much, Janelle, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. On Wednesday, we'll have Lola Osna.
Bye. Bye.
Got kind of tired of packing and unpacking. the town, up and down the dial. Maybe you